I don't.
Three, two, one. Hello, we're live.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
This is big ups. This is CicadaCast. This is Skinny Malone and the Gang podcast, brought to you by Cicadas. My name is Danny. I'm a little tipsy this episode. I had a long day.
I'm Brandon, and I'm stone cold sober.
Easy now.
I'm Dennis.
God damn it, you gotta get better with your intros.
Why?
Your intro is just like
I can't think of funny shit on the spot like you guys.
I'm Dennis.
Yeah.
I'll take you to funny school.
No, that seems too funny.
I do want to take improv classes.
Do
I
it.
feel like we should probably do that.
Yeah, I think I'm good at improv.
That
I think
would be like the ultimate test of my social anxiety.
Oh yeah, I think I would be like, I think I'd be good at it. What do you think about that, Dennis? Taking improv classes.
Good. No.
I hate him.
I don't know. I don't think I would do well at that.
I feel like me and you would probably have the same problem where like we would get a funny idea in our head, but then be laughing and like not be able to do it.
Yeah, like I did earlier, which you guys didn't hear on the podcast.
I'm just not funny. That's the thing. So I'm gonna suck at that.
You're funny.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You made me laugh when you went to the bathroom before the podcast started.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You sharted on Brandon when he was in the bathroom. You
Yeah.
did a shit fart on the bathroom door, and when he came out, and you were dying, like we were both dying laughing. You're funny.
And I was blissfully unaware.
Yeah, he walked out like, what?
What's going on, guys?
What's happening? His legs were shaking. His knees were buckling. Yeah, that's what happened. But I had a long day because we did a mural at the Chalos Mexican restaurant in Concord.
Charros.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fucking it's Mr. Spanish.
I was trying to see what you were trying to say.
Oh, now I'm
racist.
We did it. You are. We did a
mural.
Yeah, for a put it up, Steven, our editor. That's your audio cues.
You keep saying that we're never gonna have these things after like episode 20.
Yeah, Steven's like, I'm not putting that up. But put another one. And we did a mural. It was a painting of a city in Mexico. Like the owner of the business literally told us the name, and it was fun, but it was very tedious. My boss, Caswell, shout out Caswell. She would also attest that it was a very tedious podcast.
Yeah.
That was a very tedious mural.
No, it looks good though.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It's pretty popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popping.
Pop. Yeah, look at you.
I'm only making it a problem for Steven later. Just his editing.
I mean, I really don't like that dude anyway, so.
Yeah, he's kind of fucking
Yeah.
doesn't clean his feet.
Yeah, I'd rather not talk about him.
He walks barefoot in public.
Yeah.
One of those types. Yeah.
Going to the public bathrooms barefoot.
Yeah. Wears the harem pants all the time in the man bun. Yeah, he's not a good guy. We love you, Steven.
And it's with a PH, not a V.
Yeah, Stefan.
Yeah.
And it's not even. He's like, no, it's Steven. like at least Steph Curry is like, he say my name is Steph. Like he said, my name is Stefan. And he's cute. I feel like if I grew a beard out, I would look like Steph. It's also coping. Probably not. Probably a little more handsome and athletic.
Yeah.
I am a photorealistic copy of LeBron James, though. So
You're close.
Lakers beating the Grizzlies in 5 is what I got. What you got on it, Brandon? 5? Yeah, me too. What you got on it, Dennis?
2.
4? Yeah. In 2? They're gonna beat him in 2 games?
Yeah, dude.
He doesn't even know that makes no sense.
No, at all.
Okay.
I don't know basketball terms.
You don't know basketball?
Skeet.
Have you seen like pictures of like the basketball hoops in like the 40s? It was like
I think I have.
Like the
just
hoop,
like a wood rim.
like the hoop. What? Yeah, but like the hoop was like like twice the size of the basketball.
Really?
And it was like, I wonder how some of these players back then got so many high stats. Like,
Bro.
they were fucking just chucking that shit up. And
Now they're
getting
practically like
Even
the
I could
size of the
probably
ball.
play with a
Yeah.
a double size hoop.
Yeah, nowadays they're a bit smaller,
Mm-hmm.
bit taller. They also shorter back then, I think. I don't know what that is.
I think it's a phone.
The studio gets a little rowdy around this time. Okay, we got people coming in and out. It's probably Steven being weird.
Nice one.
Steven, every time I say pop, put up a picture of the mural. Do it. That's your job. How have your guys' day been? How's your day been, Brandon? You've been mowing some grass. You said earlier.
Mowing some grass. Did a little weed eating.
Weed.
Did a
smoking.
little blowing some grass off some pavement to make it look nice.
I suck at mowing grass. I did it a few times in high school, and my dad was just like,
He just like, you know what?
let
Just
me.
don't.
Yeah.
I'll give you money to not do it.
Which worries me because like I want to be a man's man when I'm older. You know, I want to be the type to, mow the grass and fix the car. I can fix the car, but I can't mow the grass.
Gonna be a real Hank Hill.
Yeah. Barber. Whoa.
I can mow grass, but I don't mow it in the way that people like it, where it's like one darker line, one lighter line, one.
See,
darker
I hate
line.
that.
I don't know how they do that, so I'm just going back and forth, and it's done.
I think my dad said you just keep like when you go straight down and then you turn around, but you keep one tire on the patch you just mowed.
Yeah.
So it
Just kind of like alternate the direction you're going in.
Yeah, it does like a
But
weird.
yeah, that's what I go one way, then turn around, go the other way. But I don't know how the fuck people do that shit.
They got fancy mowers. That make
Yeah,
it easy.
probably. I can't weed eat though. I'll tear up that grass, dude.
Sometimes that's helpful for the future because then you don't have to weed eat that spot because you've killed everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say though, in my defense, Dad, we had a push mower and push mowers suck.
Yeah, it does suck.
I hate them.
They're okay.
I hate them. They're not okay. They're bad.
Of course, a lot of them now have they're like self-propelled to a degree.
Yeah.
Bro, I bet lawn mowing technology has come so far. I bet there's like fucking
Yeah, dude,
hovercraft, Elon Tesla mowers.
I mean, they got like the things that are basically like Roombas that mow your yard for you.
I wouldn't trust that. You need an enclosed space for that.
dude, Roombas
Yeah.
make me
Haswell, you need to get a new pillow that isn't feathered. I'm sorry.
stop, dude. She's gonna fire me. Us.
Going on
Fire me,
strike.
yes, we're not even hired for her.
Yeah, exactly. You're quit. You're done.
This was the interview.
Yeah.
They blew it.
That's true.
I am Caswell Turner. How would you like to be in our establishment?
Your establishment.
Yeah. You guys can't see, but Brandon's looking at me right now, and it's funny. Dude, shut up, cars. We're located in North Carolina, as we said in episode 0. We got a lot of loud Mustangs, a lot of fragile egos,
Yeah.
a lot of tiny
I
dicks.
think that might have been a motorcycle, but
Fuck motorcycles. I hate them. They're loud and they're dangerous.
They're
They
loud
shouldn't be
and
allowed
dangerous.
on the road.
But they are.
That's my philosophy.
And they can lane split too, which is fucking stupid, but you know.
They're just like, do you want to get to your destination more dangerous and you could probably die and you don't need a seatbelt because you literally can't? I just don't understand.
I was just thinking of like what a disaster a motorcycle would be if like you had to wear a seatbelt, so you're just like strapped to it.
Oh my
Like you can't even fall off
I
and
think
like
your
slide.
back would
Like,
just break with the weight of it.
Yeah. Wow, what a very nice means of transportation then.
no, I think motorcycles are pretty cool.
Excuse me.
I watched that sneeze load.
Buffering.
Yeah, I watched that sneeze
I was like
buffer.
staring at you, and then it started crawling up. I was like, right here.
Thought you were bussing.
No, I think bikes are cool. I just know I would die on one.
I think bikes look really cool to ride. I think you look really cool. I think like that's the one thing where it's like sports car guys are like, I look cool in my Challenger. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you look like you made a bad financial choice. But bikes, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you do look kind of cool.
You can get them pretty reasonably priced too.
My coworker, he has. So when I started working there, he had like a really he's 30, and he got himself like one of those beefy like BMW, motorcycle, and they're kind of similar to
I
like.
know they made bikes.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like similar. They have some that are similar like stature to like the Harley Davidson, like bulky. And then he's like, it's a smooth drive or whatever. But
That's not what I would envision a BMW
it's
bike.
no, some of them.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
like yeah, and he had that smooth drive, all that. But then he got rid of it. He got himself a Ducati, but like
No, that was
it was like a
nice.
$7,000 one, I think. He got himself that. He's like, oh man, I've had a couple close calls on this thing. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. He had it for like 3 or 4 months before he got rid of it, just to go on ahead and get another motorcycle. Because the way he worded it was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this stuff." No, he got himself a Yamaha after that.
I was gonna say I think my favorites are the Yamahas.
Yeah. It's nice.
My
but
biological dad had a lime green Yamaha like 570R. I say biological dad because he's not my real dad. Fuck you.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck him. Fuck him. I hope you listen to this. And I hope you get fucking sad. Okay? Fuck you.
Oh, got some Kleenexes, little baby? Gonna cry?
Peach your pants, little baby. He's like sitting just clapping his feet, crying. Yeah, he had a Yamaha like 570R or whatever. I'm not a bike guy, but it was lime green. I like that bike. It was cool. He wasn't fucking. I hope he dies. But yeah, I think Yamaha is my favorite. No, they're not. The Kawasaki's are my favorite. Because I remember when I was a kid, I was like, "Is that a Kawasaki?" And he was like, "No, it's a Yamaha." And I was like, "Well, then fucking take it back."
That's why you like
even
Kawasaki's.
I like Kawasaki's because one of them, because they look cool, and one of and they're called the Ninja. Have you ever seen the Ninja?
No.
Steven, put up a Ninja. Another one. And
I like the electric ones they have going on. I can't remember this one that my
Grange.
coworker showed one, and it'll like rip you off the
Oh, I mean, I would
motorcycle with the
imagine.
fucking torque it has.
I imagine like that sounds like a bad idea. Like an electric sports bike, like that sounds like it would be too fast.
Sounds fun.
Teslas are like what 4,000 pounds, and they like 0 to 60 like
They rip ass,
like
dude.
3 seconds. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of torque
Like
in
with
an
their,
electric
with
motor.
their like new Roadster that eventually will come out,
It never will.
it does 0 to 60 in like 1.1 seconds apparently. I'm just
Okay.
like, how is that fucking possible?
People are impressed, and that is impressive. But I think a Pagani Huayra does it in like 1.9.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
Look it up.
I can't. It's Audacity's open.
Either way, that's like pushing the limits of what is like. What is the word I'm looking for?
Limitations, pushing the limits of
Revolutionary. Dramatically.
dramatically.
I mean, the first thing that pops in my
Are
head
you drunk?
is like physically possible, but I don't think that's the word I was thinking of.
Incomprehensible.
I think cars
I can't remember how it's pronounced.
indefallible. I think cars
Yeah.
are kind of getting a little too fast. I think street cars are getting a little too
And
fast.
furious. Yeah, I deserve that quiet.
I mean, yeah, I'm
I
gonna let that
deserve-
hang a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
I'll Steven, make that funny.
He can't. He's finding a hard time to make it funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think street cars are getting a little too fast.
Yeah, probably for like the average driver.
Yeah, like if you can afford like a Ferrari FXK or like a Regera, I feel like okay.
Regera.
I've heard Regera or Regera, I don't know, but I think Jeremy Clarkson says Regera.
He's British though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
They say schedule.
schedule, yeah.
It's like what? Why?
Could you imagine? What do they say? School.
Right, Dad, I'm off to school.
got a license for that? You don't need it mortgage.
So, but like
Yeah.
speaking of licenses, do you think that like certain cars should require like?
Yeah, that's
For
what I was
sure.
gonna say.
Mhm.
I was gonna say like I think street cars are getting a little too fast.
Yeah.
Like, a Regera is street legal, but like even if you can afford it, should you be allowed
Yeah, it
to
doesn't-
have that much horsepower?
Doesn't necessarily mean you should have it.
Yeah.
Just because you can afford it.
Like we have very lenient gun laws in like
Mm-hmm.
in the U.S., but you can't have a fucking minigun, unless you have a like high tier gun license, and unless you are like using it for some type of recreational thing. Like, you can't just have a minigun in your fucking house. Like, somebody come in and you're like,
self-defense.
I think I got him. Oh, it was the paper boy. Well, now he's a Swiss cheese boy.
Whoops.
Yeah, but I feel like there should be okay, maybe like Lewis Hamilton can have one, because he's proved himself, and maybe retired drag race drivers or whatever. Like, if you've got the registration for like some type of sport where you're like either Formula One or like NASCAR or whatever, you can have this recreational thing that you can take to the track. You can't drive it on the road, but you can take it to the track and you can play around with it, whatever. Yeah. I'm fine with that.
That's fair. And all these companies are going crazy with that. I know Dodge is releasing like their last Challenger.
Yeah,
that has like 1,000 horsepower to it, because they're like, there's our last like Hail Mary or whatever before like they switch off to electric.
Bro, I like that. That makes me so happy, because like Dodge has always been like the like meth addicted uncle of the family in like American Muscle. Like, Ford's the like suit and tie lawyer, Chevrolet's like the less impressive like starving artist, and like Dodge has always been like the just did a line of coke like crazy uncle with like a 19-year-old girlfriend, and he's like and they just put 1,000 horsepower in anything, and they were going to put 1,000 horsepower in their Dodge Caravan. Have you seen that?
No.
Steven? They were going to put 1,000 horsepower in that.
Jeez.
But they were like, let's not do that. And then because they were going to make the electric Charger, I think.
Yeah.
And they made that. But yeah, that's the Ford Mustang's the last V8 we're going to have. Yeah. Because the Camaro, I think the Camaros are still putting V8s in them, but they're probably going to go electric first, because they already got the Chevy Cruze, the Chevy Bolt, and shit like that. So they're probably going to go electric first. But Mustang did make the Mach-E, which is a hideous whale. You like it.
I love it.
Dennis
I think it
likes
looks nice.
I just don't like making minivans cool. I just don't think it's cool.
It's not a minivan.
Was it a crossover?
SUVs.
It looks more like a crossover.
SUVs are vans. Sport utility vehicles, they're vans.
Sports utility vans.
They're just damn. But I say that, Dennis. He's crying. He's shaking. He's crying.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay quiet for the rest of the podcast now.
You are?
Yeah.
You will.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I just said.
Yeah. He will. There's a sticky note here with numbers on it, and I don't know what it means. I think that's for company stuff. Anyway, I am a professional. I work here.
A probational.
What's this sticky note mean? I don't know. Pass it off to somebody else.
It's got numbers on it, and I don't know the math.
I literally didn't. I saw like 5 numbers in a row, and I was like. But
what's funny is I'm pretty sure they're phone numbers.
When I took a second look, I was like, there are probably people that have called or I need to call. Caswell, don't fire me. I love you. Please. Please. We just did the mural together. Okay. Think about how gracious I am.
Memories.
Think about that was like you meant to say memories, but that was like a like, did you hear that as like a steady?
It was like a single tone.
Like grandma just passed on the hospital bed type.
Jesus.
Flatlining.
I'm sorry if anyone's grandma just died. I'm sorry. That was really bad. That was a really dark way to take that. Caswell, I'm still a valuable member of the team, please. I can paint. That son bitch can paint.
Boy, you can paint.
That's what she would say if you called her. You would say, Caswell, what do you think about Dan? That son bitch can paint. And she would hang up. We're back. I said stuff I shouldn't. That sounds bad.
In a shocking turn of events.
Yeah. Yeah, in a never before seen. Danny didn't said something he shouldn't have. But anyway, Dan, I feel like you didn't get a chance to chime in. How was your day?
Oh, it was okay. Yeah, let me get this mic closer to me. Exhausting. Nothing eventful happened today, honestly. It's just
What'd you have for lunch?
I saw it. I saw you eat it. Or that was after work.
That was after work, yeah. Lunch, I had it a little earlier today. I had a crunch wrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taco Bell?
That's valid.
Yes. Taco Bell.
Solid choice.
Taco Bell.
Was there no Mexican pizza there?
I hate that.
Really?
Yes,
I don't like the
motherfucker.
Mexican pizza.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I saw when it got announced.
It's not that crazy, but like,
yeah, I saw it when it got announced.
Nah,
and I'm
that's
like,
I really
well,
like
let me
it.
give it a try. Maybe I'll like it this time. Nah.
I never originally had it. I only had it when it was like re-released, and I was like, "This is actually pretty good."
Yeah.
Boy, I got that Mexican pizza when that motherfucker came out.
I think their best item there, aside from like their tacos and shit, is the Fiesta Potato Bowl thing.
Never
I
had
think
it.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, the cheesy Fiesta Potato Bowl.
Let's talk about our favorite Taco Bell items.
Fuck, let's do it.
I really like the crunch wrap,
Yeah.
but like the absolute best thing on the menu to me is the cheesy gordita crunch.
Yes.
Like it's so good.
That is
Yes.
It's perfect.
There
amazing.
was one correct answer and you said it. That motherfucker bust.
It's so good.
Bust in
Now-
your mouth too. That cheese will bust in your
Before
mouth.
that was a thing. I think that's pretty new, right?
I'm not sure. I'd had it for the first time in the like past 10 years, and I didn't even know it was a thing. My friend he's like, "Oh, you got to order this and like order it with one of the Doritos Locos tacos inside of it instead of the regular shell." And I was like,
You
They
can
can do that?
you can do that?
"Yeah, I think it's like actually on the menu now, but you used to have to
That
request
seems like
it."
a lot of work for them. Like, really?
Yeah,
I can get it.
do it.
No. What I was gonna say is that's a great item, but before they discontinued it, sorry, that was a bit too loud. They used to have this one like dessert item back in the day. I was like 10, 12 years old when they had it, and it was I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a caramel apple empanada or
I think
something like that.
I never had one, but I remember seeing those.
Dude, they were the best. Like better than any fast food chain that has
Yeah.
like some form of dessert or something. Best thing ever. So crunchy. It was always served at you like hot,
Yeah.
steamy. You'd like had to be careful because it was like a hot pot.
Get like molten
yeah,
goop on your face.
dude, that shit.
Mm.
It was so fucking good.
I
And then
feel-
they're just like, yeah, we just stopped. I was like, well, why would you?
I feel like Taco Bell is the best fast food.
That's the best value for
Yeah.
sure. Like
Yeah,
by
and those
far.
$5 boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like deluxe cravings box, it's like $5 to $6, and
That's
it
what-
gives you like 4 or 5 items.
Yeah, I got that the other day, and that was all my food for today.
Is it
Like-
still the burrito with like that cheese layer on top, or is it something else?
Well, I got I got like the Build Your Own Cravings box,
Oh, okay. That makes
For
sense.
my
an app exclusive.
For my
Mm.
16th birthday, I got a $5 box and like 8 soft shell tacos.
Soft shells are a close runner up for the
Dude.
best item.
And I remember that. I
I'll
think
take
my mom
soft shell
remembers
over
it.
hard shell anytime.
Oh yeah.
That shit was so fucking
There's
good.
like random times when I'll crave a hard shell taco, but other than that, like
Only time I crave a hard shell is if it's like a Doritos Locos. And that's
Yeah.
it.
I second.
Yeah.
Here.
all right.
Or is it-
So when you're eating like a hard shell taco, you
I'll lick the bottom.
I like take the first bite off the end, but then like from then on out, I'll like go to the top and
Yeah.
bite that off first, and then come down to the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, you got to get there.
Repeat that.
So
Sorry.
like go to the top, like so the first bite's gone. It's like the little end bit.
Yeah.
So that's gone. But then like, cause like if I bite the bottom, then like all the lettuce and stuff's just gonna fall down.
Yeah.
So like I go to the
Oh.
lettuce bite first, like lettuce, cheese, whatever they have on top, and
Yeah.
then go down to the meat. Get that.
So you go back and forth, back
Yeah.
and forth.
I will
Yeah.
say Taco Bell. Sometimes I hate when them tomatoes and them lettuce and them cheese is cold. Okay,
You
That-
want hot
but-
lettuce?
the
Yeah.
whole taco needs to be hot. I don't give a
What
fuck.
the
I don't
fuck?
give
Nah,
a
that takes away
I
from like the
disagree
freshness.
with
the
you.
whole what not hot but like warm. I hate when I'm biting into like a what tastes like frozen tomatoes. Sometimes that shit triggers me. Those
That's the
tomatoes
point of
need
it,
to be
though.
a little bit simmered, just a little bit, a little
I
warm.
just make sure that there are no tomatoes anywhere near my food, and I'm good.
Oh yeah, well Brandon is
I don't mind tomatoes when they're that small,
he gets flashbacks when he looks at
but like
tomatoes.
when it's like any like bigger slice, I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
I still think
So,
it's
like, is
weird
it-
'cause like
Is it the taste or the texture or
I think
both?
it's the taste. Mainly, like...
That's weird. I've always heard the
like,
texture for tomatoes.
I love pico, though.
De Gallo?
Yeah. Because it doesn't taste anything like tomatoes.
That's true, because it's a mixture of other things.
Yeah.
You don't really get a taste out of lettuce because it's just like 80% water.
And I remember, like, in high school, somebody, like... I can't remember what the circumstances were, but I was like, I'll take a bite of this tomato. And then I tried taking a bite of tomato and just immediately started, like, dry heaving. Like,
Okay.
I can't do it.
I will say, I've never bitten into a tomato. That sounds disgusting, but...
Yeah. I had a friend in high school who would... You dare him to do anything, and he'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, all right. And he would gag at anything. Anything. Now
I
he
had
does.
a friend like that.
Now he doesn't. He, like, grew out of that, I guess you could say. And he's just like... This time, we didn't want him to do anything because, like, why would we? And he's like, he just kept implying, like, he just kept pushing it. Dare me something. We're like, fine. Take this orange, take this banana, eat it as is. With peel and everything. Oh. And he's just like, no, I don't think I could do that. Because he immediately started gagging. He went for it anyways, but then threw up.
Yeah, I would imagine that the peel of the orange would be very bitter.
Yeah. He immediately threw up. That's what that reminded me of. But yeah, back to Taco Bell.
I wish I was back at Taco Bell.
I wish I was back at Taco Bell. Taco Bell sponsor the episode.
I love their little cinnamon
delights.
Yeah,
I get them.
Yeah, I had every
I get
12th grade towards like the end of the year. My friend Keithler and I, shout outs to Keith, fucking go.
I kicked the desk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And we went to Taco Bell one day. We were still in our school uniform, but it was like 4 or 5 days before school ended. Anyways, we went to Taco Bell, and we had just only got the Cinnabon Delights. And it was like 6, so we just shared 3 and 3. This was the first time for both of us, but because it was a little ball size, I just like shoved the whole thing in.
It busts in.
Right, and it bust in my mouth, you know, all of that sweet, gooey, whatever it is, icing. I don't know, what is it?
I guess it's probably icing.
Right, and he didn't know that, so
cream pie.
Only bit half of it. And all of it squirted out the other side, and he had a stain of that cream on his shirt.
Oh no!
And it dried up everything on it. I was
man.
like, dude, and he didn't know for like 2 minutes. I let it sit there. I was an asshole, and he's just like, "What's
was.
up?" Yeah, was. I just let it sit there before he knew. And I was gonna tell him, but he sure enough like rubbed his hand to find out, and then it just made it even worse. He's like, "Dude, you know it was there." I was like, "Yeah."
You kind of fucked yourself on that one because like y'all getting out of the car together, that doesn't look good for any of you. If I ever saw 2 guys getting out of a car in a parking lot and a guy just has white substance on his shirt and the other guy's like smirking, which you probably were.
Well, that's the funny thing though, because he just dropped me off at the house and then he just went home, so we weren't really going anywhere after that.
Your mom was like, "Dennis, is there something we need to?" I never thought I would have to.
It would have been
give
my
you this
grandparents because I lived with them before they moved up here. So
I was like, I don't want. Brandon's request. Cut it out, Steven. There you go. Why am I doing that this episode?
Because you said you were going to do it every time you were going to mention
that's
Steven
the shtick
or something.
this episode, I guess.
Yeah, that's the stick. I have to do it twice for that one.
Why?
Nah, like, Dennis's don't count. Like, that wasn't a real one.
Yeah. Is it a real one?
I'm just kidding.
He doesn't have the rights we have. Well, you know, he wants to take my rights away, so I can't.
That was a loud one. Yeah, I won't do that again.
He wants to take my rights away, so I got to take his. Topics. I had topics. I was gonna say a thing about it. Where was it at? I'm looking. No, this is staying.
Your telefono, no.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say imposter syndrome, because we were talking about.
Been there, done that.
We were talking about. We were talking about somebody famous, and I don't know who it was, but
today.
Yeah, on the podcast, Steven, drop the name. We were talking about somebody or like somebody in like a thing, like anyway.
I think you're out of it, man. I don't think we ever mentioned anybody.
No,
famous.
we did.
I don't know, bro.
Caswell?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was it. But I feel major imposter syndrome when I'm like doing murals and stuff, because it's like I've only ever done art on the computer and on paper. So it's like when I'm doing a mural, And it's like, okay, so paint this side and give this like a shade, and I do it, and I'm like, that looks like a actual fucking child did it. And then people are like, that looks good. I'm like, okay, all right.
That's just people being nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Imposter syndrome is just very real.
Yeah, it's a very
Like-
real thing. I felt that all throughout my college.
I feel like I didn't while I was in school. Not until after I got out. And then, like,
That's where
I
felt
guess because
more.
it was just, like, such a weird time. Like, because the pandemic was, like, just happening. And so, like,
God, that is so weird.
I don't know. And so, like, I kind of lost motivation. And then, like,
I'm
and
sorry.
that led to, like, some self-doubt in my head. And then I was like,
I agree with everything you're saying.
I guess I'm terrible.
But just the pandemic was happening when we were in fucking college. Like 2019, 2020.
It was a weird time.
Jesus. Well, I started high school in 2017, so I was a few years.
Wait, what?
You started high school in
I mean,
2017.
I started college.
I was like, I think you're a little bit younger than I remember, dog.
Yeah.
I started college in 2017. Did I say college when I talked about the pandemic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I started college in 2017, so I got a few years before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
But
I mean, so did all of us. We all did.
y'all went right after high school like I did.
Oh,
No.
I went after high school. He went multiple times after high school.
Well,
I mean, like right after, like
I didn't.
Yeah.
within the same
first
year
of all,
of graduation.
First of all, I dropped out of high school, so
Oh, did you really? I didn't
Base.
know that.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
I didn't go back my senior year. I mean, I just didn't. I don't know. I never felt like I learned anything.
I just
Like,
didn't give a shit.
and it was just so boring, and just felt like a waste of my time. And so I did.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel that. I feel like I wasted 4 years.
Like, I legit, like, there's like nothing I learned in high
I
school.
don't remember anything.
Yeah, I would.
But that was a
But-
me thing, though. I was bad.
I
in
mean, I
high
think
school.
part of it was like the school I went to, like, just wasn't that great. And like, I don't know, my senior year, or what would have been my senior year, I just went to a community college and did like a diploma program they had there,
Okay.
like adult high school diploma, I think it was called. And I finished my senior year in like 2 months,
Damn.
because it was like, here, take this book. Like, they'll give you a textbook and you just work through the textbook.
Mm.
Like, I can do that easy,
Cool.
but don't make me sit there and
You
like,
work through
yeah.
the textbook and you pass?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, they would
No
like
shame
they would
in
like
that.
check your work and stuff, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
I feel it. No shame in that.
I was just like,
I think there are some people. I feel like I'm one of them that I just didn't have like the personality or like the like mindset to learn in high school. Like I
Yeah.
feel like in high school I could not pay attention. Like, and it's not like, oh, you didn't want to pay attention. Like, I just like if the teacher was literally over my shoulder helping me and I just asked her to come help me, like 3 words in, I can't follow what you're saying. I just could not do it.
I have a problem with like somebody like lecturing. Like, it's in one ear and out the other
Yeah,
for me. Like, I have to do it myself. That's all, the only way I learn.
But like to me, like it feels impossible. Like I cannot retain stuff. Like if you just tell me like word for word, okay, this is what you do, this is how you do it. I just cannot retain it.
Damn.
Like I have to see you do it, and then I'll be like, okay, I get it. Because in college, that's how our professor, both of them, no name drop, but
both of them.
Bofa, that's how they taught us. Like
Mhm.
Mr. H, you guys know, he taught us like he taught me how to use the pen tool and like Illustrator as a whole, like visually. He said,
Yeah.
this is what you click, this is how you do it, and then look how it looks. And I was like, cool. And Mr. T taught me, not the celebrity. How pitiful. He that was my professor. Nah, that's funny. That's my professor. My professor, Mr. T. He said, Daddy, well, I don't want to get too authentic with the accents, but he taught me how to use like color theory and like how things work and like how to like mix fonts, like different fonts, and make them work together. He taught me visually, and like I feel like I've learned the most in that class ever in any other class, because like high school it was just like this is Pythagorean theorem and these are the words that define it, and okay.
Yeah, high school
Make
is
a
more
triangle.
so like you made your friends there. You might still have some of them.
Yeah.
But you're never going to really It was definitely not a learning experience for me, just because most of the time it just sucks when you go to a school that's also dedicated to certain things.
What do you mean?
So ours was dedicated to botany and zoology.
A high
Right,
school
but, like-
can be dedicated to
Yeah.
things?
Yeah, to like a science school, pretty
Yeah.
much, but just to those two.
I
Right?
rem-
And then you had your normal classes
Okay.
aside of that. You were gonna say?
I was just saying that I remember like I met this dude one time and he's like, "Oh yeah, like my high school like focused on robotics," and I'm like, "Wow, I might would have like gave a single shit
Okay,
if my
that
high
make-
school was focused on like robotics or something."
That makes sense, because my old high school, Forest Hills, was in the neck of the woods, and it focused on agriculture. We had a big agriculture.
Yeah, we had like FFA and JRTC, but that was it.
I think Concord High was just our football team.
You know, our school was just, we were a small school at the beginning of the year. First year, I was a first year student there, and maybe like by the end of the year, we had like 120 students at best.
Well, that
And-
is small.
Like
Yeah.
like in the whole school.
For the high school side of it, yeah. Because it was a school that was, they decided to split the middle school. And so the middle school was its own side. We had nothing to do with them, but the buildings were still connected.
That I feel like that's so bad
Well,
to
yeah.
mix middle schools with high schoolers.
Yeah,
They're
but,
just
like-
gonna get bullied.
Right, but we never saw them. It wasn't like we had our literal own side.
Oh, they were
Only
like,
times we would see them was whenever we would go to the cafeteria.
We're beating them down.
You'd be surprised. There were some little like bitch ass middle schoolers who will fucking bully the shit out of you
we were
because they were so tough and stuff. But anyways, aside from
a
that,
tough middle schooler. I'm so scared.
and yeah, no, our school is really like dedicated to that stuff. Like 9th and 10th grade was just both of those two. One week you'd go to the zoo, the other week you'd go to botanical garden, back and forth, back and forth. End of 10th grade year, there'd be like, oh hey, choose which one you want to go to for the last 2 years. I chose zoo. The zoo was fun, you know, you got to walk around Miami Zoo the whole time you were there, whenever you went there. But it definitely isn't, it's not until you get to college that you see all the fucking options you have.
Right.
They literally give you a paper like, hey, look, you could study all this fucking thing here, everything here, if you wanted to. Like, you could study one of these things and be whatever the fuck you want to be. High school really didn't, like, teach you that.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, look at me. Literally what we did was collect, at least, because we were on the zoo side, depending on the project, the group you were with, and whatever project you decide to come up with is your project for the 2 years. Fucking Jason, that's my
Born.
buddy's, that's my buddy's name, and his brother Justin. They're
Or Voorhees.
twins. They're like, let's just do poo. I'm like, okay. So we collected elephant and rhino poo.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, I feel like I would have been like,
Flag
can,
on
we,
the-
can we
flag-
do literally
There was a reason.
anything?
Flag
You'd
flag
be
on the play.
surprised because there were like 3
No.
other groups that did the same thing, but it was
What do you-
different. It was a thing behind it. It wasn't just, hey, collect poo and that's it. It was to see how the feed that was given to them, the food that was given to them, would affect them.
Like,
Okay.
I'm
So,
gonna
like, they
I'm gonna
had,
feed
like-
them some Skittles.
So like they had they had like a bunch of little pellets. They had hay. They had hay and all that stuff. And it was just like, yeah, hey, we have poo now, and we would freeze dry it.
Hey.
So pretty much that freeze dryer would suck out all the air and immediately just start cooling it down, rock hard. And every time you'd walk into that classroom, it was just literally just a wall of shit. It just smelled like shit in there.
Really, I could have done it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it.
I don't gag at things like that. Nothing like that
I
bothers
do.
me
I mean,
at all. And we would get gloves, break it down, mix it in some other stuff, get DNA out of it and all that shit.
Animal manure is kind of fine with me because, like, growing up, you just smelled it all the time.
Yeah, I guess when I was like in elementary school, the house I lived in, like we were surrounded by pasture, and they
Yeah.
weren't our cows, but the people would like rent out the land and put their cows on it, and
Yeah.
so like I would just smell that like every morning when I woke up.
When I take my girlfriend to the country, she's not used to the country. I don't know if she wants to be named.
She gets
dropped.
real scared.
I mean, it's not like we're like a million subscriber channel, but I don't know if she wants to be named publicly. But when I take her to the country and she smells manure for the first time, I remember she was like,
Did you shit yourself, Danny?
"What?" Like she was like thrown, and I was like,
What is this wonderful smell?
"That's when I did that. That's when I realized she had a fecal fetish." No,
You heard it here first, folks.
now we're definitely not name dropping her, but Well, when I took her to the country, she smelled manure for the first time, and she was like, "What? Hello, do you want to explain?" And I was like, "That's manure." And she was like, "What? What is that?" And I was like, "It's animal poo." And she was like, "Why?" Because she's from South America. She's from Guyana. So like, I feel
where?
like South America, from Guyana. So I
Guyana.
feel like they don't have fucking manure pastures in Guyana. They have like yak. Well, they probably do, but probably not where she's from. She's from like the metropolitan area, I think.
Gotcha.
She's a city girl, and then she moved to Washington D.C. when she got here. So she's a city girl.
And she ended up in North Carolina.
That's actually funny because she
Of
was
all
like,
places.
of all people, I never thought I would be in a long-term loving relationship with a country boy, because she was like, I always saw myself like a city guy because she was a city girl,
Yeah.
and then she met me at Concord, and then she was like, "Howdy, girl, how you doing?" And she was like, leave." And I tried. Dude, I kicked the desk anyway.
Again. Yeah. Just had to bring that out. Yeah.
And I kicked it again, and you know what I also kicked off was the end of this episode. This is a shorter one because I'm going on a work trip soon, so these are going to be short for the meantime. I'm going to double up for the double wrap this podcast.
Don't double wrap it.
Don't even. Anyway, that's bad advice. That's bad advice.
Yeah,
But,
don't wrap it. Don't wrap it.
Safe sex is good. Don't do drugs. You want to say something before we leave?
The Fitnergram page.
Bye. I love you.
Peace.
Okay.
I feel like I messed up even saying what I
Yeah, you said Fitner. I'm like, Fitner?
That's why I laughed.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.